Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different revelations that will lead to saga-wide implications in this story by director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be a nostalgia-based movie that's really going to make the fans feel very nostalgic from start to finish of Episode 9, since it is the culmination of the Skywalker saga, and is going to have a lot of callbacks to the prequels and the originals in order to really make this movie the end of the sequel trilogy. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren entering of what's described to be an abandoned Imperial base that is said to have once been a location of Palpatine's vault, and still is, that Kylo and the Knights entered to discover new secrets of the past. It's described that one of the sequences involves Kylo and the Knights of Ren discovering many relics that once belonged to Palpatine, where it's said that eventually Kylo discovers a large device that was discovered by Darth Maul that is said to be the key to activate one of the Dark Temples located in the unknown regions that, when activated, would serve as a bridge to the center of the beyond. It's said that it was Darth Maul who discovered the key many years ago, before his death in the Outer Rim, and discovered and delivered the large device on his ship to be delivered to Palpatine, where Sidious stored it away for years. It's said that Darth Maul and the hologram in the film is explaining the device in greater depth, and that one needs to focus with it who is completely dedicated to the dark side itself. It's described that this very device that Maul discovered in the Outer Rim is the one that Snoke was searching for years on end, that Kylo eventually finds in Palpatine's vault, where Maul's hologram explains how to use it. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, it's explained that the Darth Maul character himself is the one who discovered the device over in the Outer Rim that is said to be the key, if you will, to activate one of the Dark Temples over in the unknown regions. Now, as you all know, Darth Maul died on Tatooine many years ago, well before the events of the sequel trilogy. Now, this is not to say that Darth Maul is alive, but you can really see how the legacy of Darth Maul is really being used to a certain extent in Episode 9. And after all, you know, we got Darth Maul in Solo: A Star Wars Story, which, by the way, was very unexpected. So you can only imagine what they're trying to do with The Rise of Skywalker in order to interconnect and really make all the characters feel somewhat connected to a certain extent and degree in Episode 9. So the one piece that I do want to go over is that this device, this key if you will, is the very device that Snoke was searching for years on end. It's one of the big reasons as to why he was actually idle in the unknown regions, which we went over just yesterday about Snoke's key to eternal life, was discovering all of the different keys, all the devices that would activate all of the Dark Temples that would work simultaneously in order to work as a bridge to the very center of the beyond. Now, what I like about this is that Kylo and the Knights of Ren discover the Darth Maul hologram, in which the hologram is explaining all of this and how to use the device, and that Maul was the one who discovered it over in the Outer Rim. We're not quite sure or certain exactly which planet or world Palpatine, discovered this thanks to Maul, because Maul was the one who actually found it. So Palpatine kept it hidden inside of this temple, or inside of this vault, if you will, based within the Imperial base that is now abandoned. Now, what I find very intriguing about this is that you can really see how there is a light connection between both Palpatine, Snoke, and even Darth Maul. Like I say, Snoke was searching for the very device that Darth Maul discovered, and Palpatine was actually then given it by Darth Maul, since Darth Maul was the apprentice of Palpatine. So what I like about this too is that this is also said to be the reason as to why Darth Maul discovered this, is because Palpatine was looking for a way to eternal life, and in order to do so, he had to find all the devices, all these different artifacts that would really activate all the different temples around the entire galaxy, all the Dark Temples, in order to make them work at the same exact time. So what I like about this is that not only is this tapping into the prequel trilogy stuff, but it's also tapping into the books, like the novels, the comics, etc., and really making the fans a little bit more aware, and I guess you could say kind of just aware of everything related to the Star Wars lore outside of the films, and introducing all these different aspects of the Star Wars franchise into an actual live-action movie itself by J.J. Abrams, which I honestly think is a great idea. I think it's a step in the right direction by Disney and Lucasfilm to make this movie more so on the mythology side than the war side, if you will, to really give us a lot of that Jedi, Sith, and Force lore to understand, Star Wars a whole lot more. So the Darth Maul hologram is explaining to Kylo Ren indirectly, of course, because he's long gone and dead. This hologram of Maul is said to be explaining how to use the device to Palpatine, that Kylo Ren is able to eventually learn about it. And I believe that that's exactly how the Unknown Regions will come into play here, since the Unknown Regions is indeed going to be featured to a certain level in Episode 9 itself. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.